When a girl starts pulling away, it can hit you like a punch in the gut. One day, everything feels perfect. She's engaged, affectionate, texting back quickly, and the next, her energy shifts. She becomes distant, takes longer to respond, cancels plans, and suddenly you're left in your head wondering what the hell just happened. That's when panic sets in, and with it comes the overwhelming urge to fix things immediately. You start sending multiple texts, asking if everything is okay, maybe even apologizing for things you're not sure you did. You try to regain her attention by chasing it harder. The problem is, this panic response is the exact thing that pushes her further away. Neediness, though it may come from a place of care, is never attractive. It signals to her that you're not okay on your own, that your emotional stability depends on her validation. It tells her that instead of being confident and centered, you're now scrambling for reassurance. This shift from the man she was drawn to someone who's emotionally dependent on her response changes the dynamic completely. Attraction, especially in its early stages, is fragile. It's built on curiosity, confidence, and a sense of mutual respect. But when you panic and start over pursuing, you hand over all your power. You show her that you've made her the center of your world, even as she's stepping back from yours. What you should do instead is surprisingly simple, but powerful. Pause. Take a breath. Let her have space without chasing after her. That act alone says volumes. It shows maturity, strength, and confidence. It tells her that while you value her, you value yourself too, and you're not going to lose your sense of self just because she's pulling away. Often, that calm response is exactly what makes her rethink walking away. When a girl starts acting distant, one of the first things most guys do, often without even realizing it, is spiral into overthinking. You replay every conversation in your head, analyzing what you said, how she responded, what her tone might have meant. You go back and reread your text threads, searching for clues in her word choices or emojis. Maybe you even check her social media to see if she's active, if she's posting, and whether anything she shares could be aimed at you. It becomes a mental obsession. You're no longer living in the present. You're living in a loop of analysis and guesswork, trying to solve a problem that might not even have a clear answer. The issue with this overanalysis is that it doesn't give you clarity, only creates anxiety. You start to imagine worst-case scenarios, assume meanings that may not exist, and often, you'll respond in ways that feel forced. Maybe you try to act extra sweet, or start asking her probing questions to understand what's going on. But from her side, what she sees is someone who's suddenly lost their natural rhythm and is now trying too hard to hold things together. That change in your energy, your shift from confident to anxious, can be incredibly unattractive. It creates pressure, and no one enjoys feeling emotionally suffocated. Instead of giving in to this cycle, the smarter move is to step back and refocus on yourself. Take all that mental energy and pour it into things that make you feel strong and centered. Hit the gym, pick up a hobby, dive into your goals. When you do this, you not only protect your peace of mind, but you also show her and yourself that your life doesn't revolve around her mood or attention. That's the kind of mindset that creates real, lasting attraction. When things start to feel off with a girl, your first instinct might be to try and fix it right away. You start thinking of ways to win her back, to remind her how good things used to be, or to recapture the connection you felt slipping away. Maybe you plan a surprise date, send her a long heartfelt message, or start giving her more attention, compliments, or affection. On the surface, it seems like a noble effort. You're trying to show that you care, that you're invested. But the truth is, When a girl begins pulling away, jumping in too quickly to fix things often does more harm than good. That's because attraction isn't something you can negotiate. You can't talk someone into feeling something. If the energy between you has shifted, no amount of sweet words or grand gestures will bring it back if she isn't emotionally open to receiving them. In fact, your attempts might come across as forced or even desperate. It can feel to her like you're trying too hard, like you're not responding to her cues, but instead trying to override her emotions with effort. This puts her in a position where she feels smothered or pressured, which makes her pull back even more. What works better is restraint. Instead of rushing to fix what you think is broken, accept the pause. Step back, not out of indifference, but out of respect for both her space and your own self-worth. Give her time to process whatever she's feeling. Maybe she's going through something unrelated to you. Maybe she needs to reevaluate how she feels. Either way, when you stay grounded, don't force a connection, and instead focus on living your life confidently. You give her room to realize your value on her own. And when that realization comes naturally, it's far more powerful than anything you could have tried to engineer. When a girl pulls away, even slightly, it's natural to start noticing every little thing she does more intensely. Suddenly, you're hypersensitive to her actions, who she's texting, who she's following, what she posts online, and who's liking her pictures. Maybe she casually mentions a male coworker or says she's been spending time with a new group of friends, and immediately, jealousy creeps in. You feel a knot in your stomach and a burning urge to confront her, ask what's going on, or prove that you're still the one she should be focused on. This reaction is understandable, but it's also one of the most damaging things you can do. The moment you let jealousy take over, you send the message that you don't trust her, or worse, that you don't trust your own value. You're implying that any other guy could take your place, which tells her you see yourself as replaceable. Women are incredibly perceptive, and they can sense insecurity even when it's subtle. If you start acting defensive, passive-aggressive, or possessive, she'll pick up on it fast, and rather than feel flattered, she's likely to feel turned off. Nobody wants to feel like they're being watched, controlled, or tested. What shows strength is emotional control. If something bothers you, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, is this really a threat, or just your fear talking? Remind yourself of what you bring to the table. When you choose to stay calm, composed, and unaffected by minor provocations, you demonstrate an unshakable sense of self-worth. And that's rare and incredibly attractive. When you carry yourself like a man who doesn't need to compete or chase, it creates a powerful sense of confidence. Ironically, the less reactive you are, the more likely she is to start seeking your attention again. One of the most damaging mistakes a man can make when a girl begins to pull away is sacrificing his own standards in an attempt to win her back. It usually starts small. You let her cancel plans without saying anything. You make yourself available at all times. You agree to things you're not comfortable with just to stay on her good side. You convince yourself that by being more agreeable, more understanding, more flexible, will see your effort and come back. But what actually happens is the opposite. The more you compromise your values to keep her, the less she respects you. And when respect fades, attraction quickly follows. Many guys fall into this trap because they confuse love or interest with total self-sacrifice. They think being a nice guy means putting her first no matter what. But here's the truth: being kind and being a pushover are two very different things. A high-value man is not someone who bends over backward to gain favor. He's someone who knows what he stands for and doesn't let anyone, no matter how attractive or important they seem, Make him forget it. If she's pulling away, the right move isn't to try harder or lower your standards, it's to reinforce them. If she cancels plans without explanation, don't rush to reschedule. If she's giving you minimal energy, match it. This doesn't mean you should be cold or play games. It means you should honor your time, your energy, and your self-respect. Women are far more drawn to men who value themselves than those who constantly seek approval. By holding your ground and maintaining your boundaries, you communicate that you're not afraid to walk away from something that doesn't align with your worth. And that's what makes her see your value in the first place.